Hi, this is Dr. Lieseletta Schuster here to tell you that fever is your friend. When you take your temperature and you see that you have a fever, please don't freak out. Instead, be proud of your body. That fever means your immune system is working hard to take action against viruses, bacteria, and other microorganisms. My late grandfather was a medical doctor, and he recommended to never lower a fever unless it got to be 103 degrees or higher. If you have a fever, your body needs to focus on fighting and keeping you healthy. So consider reducing the stress on your body so that it only needs to concentrate on the virus, bacteria, or anything else that it's fighting. So what can you do? Well, drink plenty of water. Drink lots of broth that has garlic, onions, potato, and parsley. Sleep at least 8 hours or more. Take lots of rest throughout the day. Take supplements that boost your immune system. Vitamin C has been used in hospitals against this COVID-19 pandemic very successfully. You can be using a few hundred milligrams to 1,000 milligrams every few hours. You can be sucking on zinc lozenges. The medication that they are using for COVID-19 helps to absorb more zinc, so take a lot more zinc so that your body's getting that. Suck on those lozenges. Take vitamin D. Vitamin D is extremely important for your immune system, and you could be taking 1,000 to 5,000 units depending on how low your vitamin D levels are with your blood test. Wrap yourself in blankets. Wear lots of clothing. Keep your body warm. Listen to relaxing music and visualize your body getting over this soon. Another thing that you can do to take the load off of your body when you have a fever is use hydrogen and peroxide in a humidifier and some other things. Now, according to the CDC's website, hydrogen peroxide is active against a wide variety of microorganisms, including bacteria, yeasts, fungi, viruses, and spores. Medical and health lecturer Mark Circus writes that iodine exhibits activity against bacteria, molds, yeasts, protozoa, and viruses. So, how can you use the hydrogen peroxide and the iodine? I'm talking about store-bought hydrogen peroxide that's 3%. You can get 12% at the health food store, but you'd have to use a lot less because that's really intense. And here is iodine, also from the grocery store. I have it in plastic because, as you can, I don't know if you know this, but it really will stain the skin. When I stick it into the humidifier, I'm going to show you here, I have this humidifier. And I have it in my office. I'm going to turn it on so you can see the mist. And I have filled this humidifier with hydrogen peroxide. This small little guy, I put about 1/4 cup in, 1/8 to 1/4 of a cup. If it's a medium size humidifier, about 1/2 cup. If it's a really large one, put in a full cup. I just used probably about 1/8 of a teaspoon, 1/2 of a teaspoon of the iodine, and then the rest of it is water. So I have it in the office, like I said, because when I have patients in here, especially during COVID-19, I want this mist to go into the air and kill the viruses and bacteria. I have it right next to the table so that when they're laying there, they can be breathing in the mist into their lungs. If you have this in your home, you can have this in your bedroom, you can have it in the living room, wherever you spend a lot of time. And you can have the humidifier right next to you, as close as possible. So you can literally be breathing it in through the nose, breathing it in through the mouth. That way you're getting it right into your lungs. And that's extremely important because with this COVID-19 pandemic, as well as with a lot of times viruses, what happens is you get SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, and you can't breathe. And that is not good. That is definitely what can cause a lot of the fatalities. So by using this, you can do it as a humidifier. Another thing that you can do is there's something called a nebulizer. A nebulizer is a humidifier. But the humidifier with the nebulizer, it has a mask. This way, with the mask is putting the mist directly into the nose, directly into the mouth. And recently, I was listening to an interview with a gentleman that had COVID-19. He was on his deathbed. He and his wife really thought he was going to die. He just didn't think he was going to make it. And thankfully, a holistic medical doctor did a teleconference with him, said, "What are you taking? What are all your supplements? Okay, take that vitamin C throughout the day, take the vitamin D, the zinc, and other nutrients." He also said, "You need to use a nebulizer. Put the iodine in there as well as the hydrogen peroxide and start doing it 10, 15, 20 minutes every 4 to 5 times a day." This gentleman noticed immediately that it started to help his breathing. 4 days later of doing the nebulizer and all these supplements, he did this interview. He was feeling fantastic, totally in shock. So that is why I really recommend that when you have a fever, use something like the nebulizer that has the mask already, or use the humidifier. Now, if you can't get your hands on that, then what I would recommend is, I'm sure you've got small spray bottles around the house. Just clean them out with whatever they had in there, unless it was really toxic. And put about a quarter of it with hydrogen peroxide. That's what I did. I also put a few drops of the iodine, and I filled the rest with water. And what you're going to do is I'm going to show you. You're going to be taking a breath in, let the breath out. When you breathe in again, you're going to be spraying 3 times with this. Breathe again and do it another time. So you're taking about six sprays, either all at once or with a couple breaths. So I'll show you what I mean. Breath in, out. In, out. And hydrogen peroxide is kind of stingy. So you will feel that stinginess in your throat. That's a good thing. And that stinginess is going into your lungs a little bit to help kill any kind of virus, bacteria, or other microorganism that might be there. So this is a beautiful thing that you can be doing. Again, if you just want to prevent it, do that once a day. But if you're actually having symptoms and you don't have a humidifier, you don't have a nebulizer, that is an excellent thing to do. That way you're getting it into your lungs. So that is another way that you can help to calm your body down, help it fight viruses and bacteria when you have a fever, so that your body really can focus on killing any microorganism, virus, bacteria that it is overloaded with. Now, if you do find that your fever is 103 degrees or more, what can you do to lower it? You can put your feet in a very cold water, in a bucket of water or in a bathtub. You can submerge yourself in that really cold bathtub. If that's too cold for you, then keep your feet in the cold water. Take a washcloth, put it in the cold water, maybe have a few of them, put them under, wring them out, put them underneath your armpit, maybe another one under this armpit, put another one behind your neck, and another one at your forehead, or just drape it on your head. That way you have a few different areas with your feet and your body that you're starting to cool it down. Another thing that you can do as well when you're not sitting there with your feet in the cold water would be to take some essential oil of peppermint, and you would take some lotion. You would put the lotion onto your hand, and you would add 3 to 7 drops of peppermint oil. Rub it together, and the reason you're using the lotion is oils are very volatile, and you don't want them to evaporate. You want them to be absorbed into the lotion, and then you would rub that on the bottom of your feet. And I suggest that you do that every hour to really help lower your temperature. Now, a lot of times If that's not helpful, people will reach for acetaminophen as well as paracetamol. Those are Tylenol type products. Unfortunately, they do come with side effects. And did you know that in the emergency room, if there is an overdose of Tylenol, they use N-acetylcysteine. N-acetylcysteine helps the body produce glutathione, which is a very important antioxidant that gets blocked with Tylenol type products. So some experts recommend that when you take a Tylenol type product to also take N-acetylcysteine at the same time, just to make sure you reduce any kind of really nasty negative side effects. Now, my video would not be complete if I didn't include how chiropractic can help lower a fever. There is a research report in the Journal of Pediatric, Maternal, and Family Health Chiropractic. An 11-year-old boy was experiencing fever, fatigue, muscle tension, neck pain, headache, and his disposition had changed as well. He had a medical diagnosis of upper respiratory infection and underwent medical bacterial screenings. He was given 250 milligrams of the antibiotic amoxicillin without change to his illness, fever, or muscle aches. The boy's parents brought him in for chiropractic care, and he was checked for abnormal positions and movement of the spinal vertebra, which can lead to nerve interference. It is this interference called vertebral subluxations that chiropractors correct. The boy received specific mobilizations of the neck and back, and 60 minutes later, his fever went away, and so did his headache and other body aches. Research is revealing that there is a relationship between abnormalities in the spine, the nervous system, and the immune system, stated Dr. Matthew McCoy, the editor of the journal that published this study. He is also a chiropractor and public health researcher. Dr. McCoy added, since the nervous system has a direct effect on the immune system, and because the spine houses and protects so much of the nerve system, it is important to have your child's spine checked regularly for any interference, but especially when their immune system is challenged. Now, I am seeing patients during this pandemic, COVID-19. However, if you do have a fever, we recommend that you stay home. So how can you replicate what the chiropractor does? Well, that would be by mobilizing your spine. One way to do that is to use an app, go on YouTube, and start to do some type of yoga practice with a yoga instructor. And 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, however long you can do it for. And then an hour later, check your temperature and see if it has lowered. Another thing that you can do if you just are not feeling up to doing any kind of movement would be to lay on your side. Have somebody take that lotion that I showed you with the peppermint oil, mix them together, go from the base of the spine where the head and the neck meet, all the way down to the tailbone, rubbing gently up and down the spine. What I'm looking at is for that relaxing massage to get to the spine and help what's called your parasympathetics. The parasympathetics is that part of your autonomic nervous system that helps you rest, repair, heal. And that's what you need to be doing as much as possible, getting your body to get into that parasympathetic state for your immune system to work even stronger to keep you healthy. Okay, I hope that this gives you lots of information as to what you can do to not fear a fever. Know that it is your friend, and there are plenty of things that you can do to help your body get through that fever much faster so that you can get back to feeling fabulous. All right, until next time, I'm Dr. Lisa Schuster.